Insane.
Shall we get to another very close and, no real favorite in this one, the main event?
Changing of the guard on duty. That's
Oof.
all I can say, man. Gaethje's been getting big boyed on the media trail by Taporia. He really has. I don't know how much of it you've been watching. McAfee even chimed in during the episode that they both went on, and he just goes, "Justin, you got anything to say to that man?" Like, and he just was sitting there taking it. Look, I was doing some research. Justin, he's coming off of that big win versus Patty Wimblett. He is right now got the lightweight title. He's the interim champ, as we all know. The only way for him to kind of, I think, make this fight a little bit competitive is he's got to channel that, like, just chaotic factor he had when he was fighting against Poirier. You know what I mean? He's got to make it dirty. He's got to find some way to make Ilya not be the focused as shit fighter that he always is, as we see him with his stance just locked in all the time. And I don't know how Justin's going to do that, because most of the fights highlights that I've seen from him, he doesn't really bring the chaos factor, being that he's, got that background in just all wrestling and kickboxing. Not really like a power brawler kind of guy from what I've seen. And the record backs that up with him only having the one knockout to his name. Yeah, I wish I could say that it was tougher for me to pick this based on what I'm seeing. But I mean, do you guys have a better case to make for Gaethje?
Kevin.
I mean, I'll try, and he's got quite an uphill battle. Taporia, I know people, especially coming up now, not so much because he's carved out his own path, but they like to accuse him of being a knockoff McGregor. It seems like he's putting on a McGregor masterclass of getting under Justin's skin, gonna force him into rushing in and just cleaning his clock, doing exactly what he said recently. Yeah, he's also, this is post-divorce Ilya. The deck couldn't be more stacked against Gaethje, but here we go. Here's what Gaethje will have to do. And the fact that it's 5 rounds makes it that much harder. Even in the Ilya fight with Max, it was 1-1 going into the 3rd round. In his fight against Volk took the 1st round off of him, but he just needs to connect once. And throughout the whole fight, he's sort of building traps, creating that dead space. So the second you make an incorrect read, or you get overzealous on a throw, that's when he's gonna implement the 1-2-3 that he's been putting together, laying groundwork for. But how does Gaethje win this? He needs to go at those legs. He needs to kick the legs hard, kick the legs early. All right. He needs to clinch with Taporia, because as dangerous as Ilya is when you're about a foot away from him, that the level of danger goes down if you're touching him. If you're in the clinch with him, if you've got him up against the cage, you can wear on him. What Gaethje should kind of be aiming for, get this thing into the 3rd round, and then we can talk. Because I think in Ilya's mind, he's not doing this for show. He's not trying to get under Gaethje's skin. He thoroughly believes it's going to be a 1st round knockout. I think if Gaethje can get past the 1st and 2nd round, maybe Ilya starts second guessing himself. Maybe Gaethje takes a round off him. Maybe he clips him with something. Maybe he eats one of Toporia's shots and realizes it's not as bad as he thought. That's what, maybe a head kick, maybe what he did to Dustin Poirier. Ilya Toporia's shorter. Obviously, he actually got very sensitive about that. That was the one win that Gaethje had on this media trail, was called him out for being short, and Ilya just kind of short king went off on him. He clearly touched a button there. But that's what's going to have to happen. Like you said, Tyler, make it dirty, but being careful while you do it.
I want to correct myself also real quick. He only has 1 submission to his name, Mr. Gaethje. 20 knockouts, excuse me. Yeah, but to your point, the problem also comes in the fact that Ilya is good on the ground and standing up. You know what I mean? Like, we're back to just chaos and just going to have to do like some kind of flying kick and hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, Charles had nothing for him on the ground. It's a tough one. It's tough. Going to be a tough one for America, I think.
It's the main card too. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, the main event of the UFC 250th birthday of Trump's, I think, and yeah, it's going to be a tough.
Curran, what do you got?
She took the kids, Justin. We'll start with that. Yeah. It's It's definitely an uphill battle, like you said, Kevin. I think you probably know how I feel about Ilya. I cannot stand him, but despite that, he is honestly one of the most entertaining fighters to watch right now. And the guy is a generational talent that I haven't seen in a while. Like we have plenty of fantastic fighters in the UFC, but he's kind of like, I mean, the guy can submit you, he can knock you out. He has literally knocked out three of my favorite fighters in his last three bouts. That's why I don't like him.
What
And
a
he
resume, man.
yeah, and he's very confident and very outspoken, and it drives me nuts, but he does it. And, some people have made comments that, like, yes, he's fighting 3 legends or he KO'd 3 legends kind of on their decline, which is definitely true, but it doesn't take away from the fact that he put all of them out cold. I mean, Max was maybe I mean, he was definitely out in terms of, like, that fight was over, but Charles and Volkanovski were literally out cold. Like, the
Right.
Oliveira KO was probably one of the most brutal ones I've seen in
Oh,
a
Yeah,
while.
wait, isn't Oliveira still the title holder?
he's the
Right?
No.
BMF
But he's
belt
not?
holder.
Yeah, which is
Oh, okay.
silly. That fight sucked. Anyway, I I think, Kevin, you made some good points that, Gaethje probably needs to clinch, like, throw some uppercuts for sure. Gaethje's
He's got a
uppercuts are some of the best in the
yeah.
sport, and definitely the leg kicks. I think, also Gaethje needs to be he has a great jab that he just doesn't use much, and if he pops his jab out, I think he can, start to affect Ilya, maybe, like, cause a cut or, like, damage one of his eyes. That makes it a little bit easier for Gaethje. But if he rushes in like a madman, he's getting KO'd immediately. Ilya Tuporia's right hand is just insane. And you made another good point earlier, which is yes, he has one punch knockout power, and he usually is one punch that puts his opponent out, but it's usually like the fourth or fifth shot. Like
Yeah.
he goes in combos, and then people think they're safe at that point because like, okay, he's unloaded three punches, I blocked it or I evaded it, and then right hand or left hook just comes out of nowhere and it surprises them. And yeah, I mean, Justin Gaethje has an insane chin. I mean, he really does. He's very tough, but if he gets caught multiple times by Ilya clean, it's just he's going to be put out. Now, here's the other thing. I saw several interviews where Ilya talks about how him and his team prepare for these fights, and it's just insane. They're just like, okay, we obviously focus on like what we need to do in our path to victory. Then we focus on what is our opponent's path to victory. And then we start our game plan around that. And he literally just said everything that we said in this conversation. He's
Oh,
like, we know Justin's going to try to like stay at range. He's going to try to like, pepper him with leg kicks, with jabs, be very careful at first because he doesn't want to, get KO'd. And then, of course, if he gets the chance, he's going to try to like throw some uppercuts in dirty. That's very risky, though. I don't know, man. It just comes down to like how Gaethje wants to approach this fight. If he's timid, he could still get caught, but if he rushes, then the fight's going to be over quickly.
Fellas, loser vibe check on Gaethje. During the press conference, he goes, I might win, I might get knocked out. Either way, I'm gonna fight good.
Yeah, even when they were in the White House, when they were in the Oval Office, Trump was talking to Ilya and was like you're a really tough guy. Like you're probably gonna knock this guy out, huh? Literally, like he caught it even through the fog of dementia. He was able to see it, and then yeah, Gaethje was just right there. It is tough. And also, I did see an interview where Gaethje said his plan is to move forward to
He's going
I,
out.
I,
If he does
what?
that, he's out cold.
I mean, look, he can talk about his strategy all he wants at this point. You know what I mean? Like, there's no hiding that he's just gonna have to like. He's literally just throwing it at the wall and whatever sticks in this
wait.
fight.
I got something. I forgot. I was watching the UFC embedded, and Gate or
God,
Ilya
you watch that
Taporia and his
crap.
team. They were walking around. It was at night. I think they were at maybe Logan Circle. It was one of the circles in DC. They're like,
No
let's
way.
do our training outside. It feels great out here. Let's try to acclimate to this heat, kind of. And Ilya said he felt great and this felt amazing, but I swear they weren't doing much work and he was drenched in sweat.
I mean, DC is a swamp in the summer, though.
Dude,
Like,
Yeah.
we're living
Well,
in a
that's where he's gonna
swamp
be
this week.
fighting. Gaethje Gaethje's in Arizona, get some heat.
How,
I don't know.
fellas,
yeah.
I don't think it's political to say that we all know that DC, like late night in some spots, it gets a little dicey. How funny would it be if on the news you just see like three people tried to go after this guy who they thought was this short dude wearing a hoodie and they're just all out cold?
I mean,
Yeah, like
that's
in a
exactly what would
suit,
happen.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, also, that's a good point because I did see a picture of Ilya recently and he looks huge. I don't know if it's edited, but he looked significantly bigger than his last title fight. And I'm wondering if he's planning a permanent move to lightweight after this fight if he wins. I mean, he looked big, so he might be holding on to more muscle,
You think
and
he's
he might
gonna
fatigue
try
quickly.
to? You think he's
I
gonna
think
try to climb the belts like Pereira's doing?
I think his
Good.
I think his final destination is to try to go to 170, and if he's smart, maybe wait till Makhachev retires.
I don't
And
know. I really want to see that fight. I
of
really
course,
do.
yeah, that was supposed to be the fight that was on this
That's
card.
Islam, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
just making sure.
That was it was supposed to be those two in the main event. That
A
is,
Georgian versus a Russian for the
yeah.
yeah.
I would have been better than,
On the White House lawn.
yeah. Let's let's take a look at all of our picks from a bird's eye view. As you can see, yeah, it's nice.
I fully.
Of course,
As you
yeah.
I'll
should.
tweet them
As
out.
you
I would
should.
tweet it out, obviously, so there's a record.
I actually had that one card where I went 9-0. A little kind of crafty bag of tricks, little veteran move. I said one thing when we were going to be covering the fights, and then I had a different thing in the table, and so I was able to just, whichever happens.
Kev, we all could have run the gauntlet in that stupid ass Netflix episode that you had us record if you didn't want to be contrarian with Gina Carano. That went well.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, but I got Sean Strickland right.
He's not banned, by the way,
Now
Kev.
that-
Not
yeah,
banned.
he's not banned. He's just not invited. I will be hoping that he does a little protest outside the White House during the fight, because I will be there. I will try to meet him.
Wait, during the fight, you're gonna try to go on Sunday night?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't really
Okay.
gamed that out yet, but
Let's talk
yeah.
about that some more, definitely.
And if
Okay.
anything, just to like watch it at a bar somewhere. But
True.
or if I can figure out a way to sneak back into the fan expo, because on Sunday the same thing's going to be going on during the fights. Like they're going to have that little area set up for the peasants.
Well, that's probably a good time to say to all you loyal viewers, it's past midnight, folks. For the last 30 minutes, we're basically just having a conversation, not even doing a
True.
show. But that being said, this Saturday, me and Kev are on to new territory. You will be seeing in the street vids from us two idiots. The
love
mics
it.
showed up. We're going to have to bring some cash to incentivize people to talk to these two idiots walking around. And I may or may not print out some legal waivers just to help us out. But yeah, tune in, folks. Like I said, when we dropped that video on Tuesday, well, not all of it has been dropped yet because this is one of the busiest sports weeks of my life, but we're busy right now and we're going to just keep dropping content. We're going to keep talking ball. We're going to keep talking UFC, and they're going to be nonstop. We got big plans for all the seasons that are coming up. Thank you all. Remember to like and subscribe.
Yes. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on, guys. Good stuff.
Peace.